Yo, what is up everyone? It is Matthew Maz Fishing and we are back with another video. It's pretty early today. It is 5 o'clock a.m. March 8th. This weekend's probably going to be my last time being able to go out for lake trout and whitefish for the year. It closes on the 15th, which is next Friday. It is currently Friday as well, so a week from today the season closes. Hoping to get out 2 more times this weekend, hopefully get on a couple more fish. I'm a little bit sick right now. You can probably tell by my voice. I'm all stuffed up, but I just can't pass up this weekend. I got to get out at least one more time and target these awesome fish. Without further ado, I am going to tie up a couple of leaders before we head out. Okay guys, first things first, we are going to tie our leader on. So just to show you guys what I'm using, if I'm fishing mostly for whitefish on say like a Meegs for example, I'll usually go down to about 6-pound test line. However, if I'm using something like a tube, which I'm going to be rigging up here, or something that I'm fishing suspended like a swim bait or something, in hopes of hopefully getting Lakers, I'll usually go to 10-pound fluoro. This is what I tend to use. It's a Seagar STS. It's a steelhead and salmon stuff. It works fine for everything. It's good for all applications. It's pretty affordable line too, and I haven't really had a problem with it, so why fix it if it ain't broken, I guess. Now the knot I'm going to be tying is the modified Albright knot. It's a very slender knot. If you guys do want to see a video on how I do this, make sure to comment below. I'd be happy to make a quick video for you guys and demonstrate how it's done. It's my favorite knot I've used so far for tying braid to fluorocarbon. It's extremely slim, super strong, goes through the guides really well. So guys, we're gonna get roughly, let's say 2 arms lengths. It's probably about 7 feet or so. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have to be exact, but a fair amount of fluorocarbon. You don't want that leader to be super short, especially on Simcoe. The water's super clear, those fish can see really well. Having a long leader not only keeps the braid far away from the bait, but it also makes sure that when you are reeling a fish in, your fluorocarbon will actually go around your spool when you have that fish close to the hole, because when you do have a knot in your line, that is the biggest point for the line to break at. It's the weakest point in the whole system you have running, so it's always good to have it wrapped around the spool to make sure you don't have to worry about that knot breaking. So there you have it guys. Let's see if you can see that. There's my knot. It is super, super small. Nice and strong. You can pull that nice and hard, cinch it down. It's not going anywhere. I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna move on to tying the bait. So what I'm gonna be tying on here guys is a Impact Baits tube. This is their shorter size. I wanna say it's probably like a 2.5 to a 3 inch. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure they have it on their website or on their Facebook page. It's a nice pearl white color. This also has like a UV in it, so it shines nice and bright. Smells like garlic and salt, very good scented baits. And I'm gonna be rigging that up on just a traditional tube head jig, to which I also tied a little stinger hook onto. I think I used like 15-pound fluoro, just 2 simple Palomar knots, and I used a Owner hook. These are the ones I use here. It's the Owner Stinger Treble Short Shank. I'm not super picky about what hooks I use, to be completely honest with you guys. I found these ones, I think it was at Trombley's. They're super sharp hooks, work really well, haven't had a problem, so I'll continue to use them. So we're gonna rig that tube on. You guys have probably done this a million times. Soak the lead, so it slides nice and well. And you're gonna go through the tube. Slide it over. And you can see the head there, where the eyelet is. We're just gonna pull that through, just like that. And so usually I want that stinger hook, this one's a little bit long, but usually I want that stinger hook to be hanging just at the end of those appendages there. Again, like I just said, this one's slightly long. Another thing you can do, rather than completely retying, if you see there I have the line tied on, I can slide that further into the actual bait, down the shank of the hook. And there you go. Now you can see that treble is just about at the end of the appendages, right where I want it. Now we're just gonna tie this on. I use a simple Palomar knot. I'm sure 95% of you know how to do this knot, so I'm not gonna show you that. If you do want a video on that as well, make sure to comment down below. And there you guys have it. We are all rigged up and ready to go. As you guys can see, one thing to make sure when you are fishing a tube, this one, I usually sit my tube dead sticked in the water column. Make sure that you use a tube jig that has a vertical eyelet on it. You can see this one comes perpendicular from the shank of the hook. The shank of the hook runs this way. The eyelet comes straight up. You don't want one that comes on an angle off the nose because this will keep the bait hanging horizontally in the water column. Another thing you can do is actually slide that knot back. So as you can see, once I slide it back, that tube will hang pretty well straight in the water column. I want to show you guys one more quick thing before we head out. I'm going to show you guys super quick just how I rig my tube on the Meegs. So this has been the hot color for me lately. I don't think they actually make this color anymore. I think it was only made last year. It's like an olive or like a green and like a silver. It's got like yellow eyes on it. This is in the 1/2 ounce size, which is what I use most frequently. As you guys have seen, I tend to fish pretty deep. So 1/2 ounce size works best. I can't really feel that 1/4 ounce, and I don't really like the bigger one just because it's super heavy and a big profile, but I will use it sometimes. Another quick thing to note, if you look on the top, you can see there's a bunch of lines actually broken off. I always tie my knot towards the back, and I will, every time I take the jig off, I'll leave the line on there, and you can actually basically use it to cinch down that knot in place. So when you do use the Meegs, it'll sit like that, right on the bottom, which is what you want. It really helps to imitate a feeding goby. If you guys do want to see basically how I fish the Meegs video, make sure to comment that down below. So here's the tube I use, guys. It's just a simple Bass Pro Shops Crappie Max tube. The Meegs tubes are really good. I have trouble finding them sometimes, so I usually just go by these. They work just as well. And this has been the hot color for me lately. It's basically a 1/2 black, 1/2 chartreuse. And all I do is I'll grab it here, bite the majority of that off. Super salty, you can see. Now we're left with just a little bit, and then the appendages on the back. You got your Meegs. You're gonna slide it through and just slide it right over that little lip on the back of the Meegs there, and that will keep it in place. There you have it. That's all in place. Those appendages, I really like when they hang just a little bit past the like the rounded part of the hook. I think it's a little bit better. Sometimes I'll cut them a little bit shorter if I'm getting short striked pretty frequently, like they're only biting on the end part. But for the most part, I try to leave them so that they sit just past the actual end of the hook. Keeps it a little bit more natural and gives you a little bit more action, keeps those appendages flowing. Okay guys, it is now 5:20. We are going to finish packing up the car and get on our way to the lake. Okay guys, it is about 7 o'clock a.m. Got out to where I want to fish. I think I'm gonna fish outside for a bit and see how I'm marking. If I'm marking pretty good, I'll just set the hut up and probably stay here for the day. If I'm not marking much, I'm gonna make a little bit of a move to a spot that I usually fish up a little more shallow, and we will fish there. But we're gonna get in the water right now, get the rods going, get the GoPro on. I'm gonna set up the big camera just in case I hook into something. Let's see if we can make something happen. Just checking in guys, it is 7:43 a.m. I was marking enough fish here that I just decided to stay. I'll sit it out here for a while. If nothing happens, maybe I'll make a move. Depends on how many fish I kind of mark. Let's see how it goes. I have marked probably already 4 or 5 fish, but I'd like to see a little more action. We are hooked up, guys, on the high hook. Woo! Finally. Hooked up here, guys. Got it on the high hook. See if we can land this fish. There it is, guys. Not a monster by any means, but nice little, probably 2 pounds. First one of the day. It's about noon. I just finished up. I was doing a live feed on Instagram for about an hour, and so I wasn't filming on my GoPro, but of course about 10 minutes into the live feed, my second fish of the day comes. So I've got 2 so far today. Not bad. Limited out by 11 o'clock or so. Pretty stoked on that. Let's see if we can get a couple more fish. I haven't been getting a crazy amount of marks today, but the ones I have been getting have been hitting pretty well. We're hooked up, guys. This is our 3rd fish of the day. I didn't get the second one on film because I was doing a little Instagram live. But we got another whitey on. Feels like a whitey at least. Hope you can see all that. I wasn't filming on the GoPro for the hook set because I just finished up that live feed that I was doing. This one's giving me a good fight. I already limited out for the day, so this one's going to be a nice little catch and release. Now he's just counting like dead weight. Oh, there's some head shakes. See what he hit. I think I got him on the Meegs. I'm running a high hook, a little drop shot bait on it. Oh yeah, this is a good one. There it is, guys. My 3rd fish of the day. Let's get a quick little shot. We'll get a release. There's another fish on the screen right now, too. It's croaking. There it is, guys. He's croaking like crazy. Whew. Well, guys, it's about 5:30 p.m. now. I think the last I checked in, it was around like 12, and it was right after I landed that last fish. I still continued to kind of mark fish throughout the day, but they really turned off. They weren't hitting anything. I tried a bunch of different baits, bunch of different colors in the Meegs and all that kind of stuff. Just couldn't trigger another bite. So I'm just about to call it a day here, guys. I want to say thank you very much to everyone that tuned in to the Instagram live feed that I did earlier today. I'm going to try to do a lot more of those in the future and really engage you guys and talk to you guys a lot more. Try to build a connection and a better relationship with you guys. I also want to say thank you very much to all of you for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you would like to see from me in the future, make sure you comment down below. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Peace.